Welcome to Witch Yes, a podcast for casual conjurings, witches in training, and lotions, potions, and the motions of the oceans.
I'm Alicia Herder.
And I'm Terra Keck.
On today's episode, Sex Magic, witches in the news, and a charm for luck in love.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Dear Tammy, please don't listen to this episode.
Yeah, this is a not safe for work, 18 plus, sometimes gross as fuck episode. There is some content where I'm just going to be like, the whole time. So
if
get ready.
If you have strong aversions morally, physically, emotionally to this, don't make an iTunes review about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just stop while you're ahead.
Skip it. It's okay. You can skip this one.
I mean, don't skip it. Like, you should press play, but like leave the room.
Can you just do this part and then like at the 7-minute mark you can just cut out after you listen, about Alicia and I's day?
Yeah, hop to the last 10 minutes of the episode, get that spell, want some luck and love, and then, just peace out. Bye.
That's okay. All right.
It's okay. We respect your decisions.
But for all you fucking nasty birds out there.
Welcome to the sex episode. So let's start with check-ins, normal thing. And my check-in's not sexy, unfortunately. So on January 8th, a friend of mine that I went to Ball State with has passed away, named Meg Holder. And oh my God, you look so sad. I'm trying really hard to keep it together. I just found out yesterday. And she was very witchy, and she loved witch aesthetic. She loved being a witch, and she was one of those people in 2012 when I met her who was actually like okay being a witch. And I just wanted to give a little shout out to her friends and her family because I know they're going through a really rough time right now. And Meg was just 100% authentic and 100% herself like all the time. And those are some really admirable traits that I hope that I can like learn from and carry on for my life. Mm-hmm. Don't cry.
You don't cry.
I cried yesterday.
No, you. How did you know her?
She was assigned as assistant director for one of the plays I directed, Gruesome Playground Injuries. And she just, like, you never know what kind of relationship that is when, like, someone's assigned to work with you. And I just loved working with her, and she definitely understood the, like, human complexities, like the balance of light versus darkness. And they didn't say how she died, but I think the darkness probably won out in this case, unfortunately. So, for anyone at home dealing with depression, we love you. We're here for you. And call up your friends. Like, it is always okay to bother people and to reach out and get some feeling of love.
And check up on your friends, even when they don't ask you to. Check up on them. Especially right now, because we're coming up on some of the most intense parts of winter.
And February sucks.
And February sucks, okay?
We got Valentine's Day, which only counts if you're in a relationship. If you're not in a relationship, it already kind of sucks. Mm-hmm. And that's it. There's nothing else to look forward to in February except spring, hopefully by the end of March.
And by now, hopefully a groundhog would have
popped up
and said, hey, early spring, but not climate change related, just like you're lucky.
Just normal? Yeah, that groundhog's probably so confused right now.
Mm-hmm. So my check-in's pretty sexy.
Good. Let's sex it up a bit.
Okay, so the title that we have is The Yahweh Situation. So I just want to give a real heartfelt thank you to Allegra Bree, one of our patrons and listeners. She was so kind and so gentle and was very much like, please don't hate me. And I was like, we could never hate you. You give us money. So this is just like a kind of chopped up little version of her message, which was, Yahweh's over.
Yahweh's over.
Yahweh's over.
Yahweh's canceled or like Yahweh's?
So Jews do not use quote unquote Yahweh for God. It's actually a Christian invention and can be offensive in the beliefs to some Jews. It came from the ineffable name, which is spelled, the way that she spelled it here is YHVH, which is said to be revealed to those that are worthy. Okay. If you search, quote unquote, the ineffable name on resources like My Jewish Learning or Chabad, you'll get some very good information. We also called up some of our friends, our close friends, just to make sure we were saying this stuff right. And so Jews say Hashem, which means the name, or certain special names in prayers and rituals, or they just use God, but they like put a little hyphen where the O is, because the name of God cannot be written down. Oh. With the idea that like if you write down God on a piece of paper and then you throw away that piece of paper, it can be very
disrespectful
to God.
Yeah.
So that's what we learned, which is crazy to me because I've been through several years of religion classes, learning about world religions, and I had professors say Yahweh to me for years.
Yeah.
From this point on, you all know that
Yahweh is canceled.
It's over.
It's over. We're not doing it anymore.
We're not.
Don't make us say it again. It's on the bad list.
So now we say Hashem. And
Hashem.
There you go.
And thank you for being nice about it.
Thanks for being nice, because sometimes people are not nice about it.
I appreciate everyone who reaches out and they're like, it's not confessional, it's confession. And we're just like, huh, cool. Learning, knowing, growing. All right, so, oh, you're going to get a little sexy?
I guess.
Ooh.
You want to get a little sweaty?
Is your lingerie matching, or are we mismatching today?
Let me check.
I'm actually matching. I was very surprised. I was like, ooh.
Not matching.
You're like, none worn. All skin. Here we go, baby. What the fuck is sex magic? What the fuck is this?
We actually got the idea for this episode from a listener who had an experience where she had... Do you have the message?
I do have the message. She said, my boyfriend has recently been worried about money in terms of his tax refund. So we got this message a year ago. He is making more this year than he was making last year, but he was still really concerned that he would owe a refund. I know you guys haven't touched about this subject yet, but I was watching Sabrina this weekend. And when I say watch, I should stress that I binge watched the entire season as fast as I possibly could. Anyway, that sort of sparked me watching a documentary on understanding witchcraft and Wicca and things of that nature. One of the things that they mentioned was that sex magic is also a thing. Now, my boyfriend and I are definitely not celibate, so that's something that I definitely thought we could do. While we were having sex, I started thinking about and envisioning him being rich.
What did that look like? Was it like Scrooge McDuck? Just like piles and piles of stacked up coins?
Why McDuck? Why the McDuck version?
Because he has the one where he jumps into the pool.
I want to give her enough credit that she's not thinking about Scrooge McDuck while fucking her boyfriend.
How bad are you going to feel whenever she messages us back and she's like, Actually,
it was only Scrooge McDuck.
I'm very specific kinks.
She said, I'm pretty sure what I said in my head wasn't a spell, but I kept repeating it and thinking about him making money that he didn't think he was going to make and drawing the $sign into his skin almost like a sigil.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Long story short, he actually got a refund this year of about $800.
Okay.
I have no clue if it works, but I didn't tell him that I did that until afterwards and he wasn't upset about it, so that's good. She didn't think that he would be upset about it since he is kind of interested in witchcraft as well. And then she says, I guess I'm just really looking forward to that episode on sex magic. And here we are.
And you did this. You did this to all of us.
So now we have to talk about it.
All right.
The good, the bad.
The gag-worthy.
The gag-worthy.
So what is it? Sex magic, as a base concept, revolves around the idea that sexual energy is life energy. And life energy can be harnessed for manifestation.
Okay. That's simple enough. That makes sense.
It's basically like any other type of invocation of energy that supercharges your spells, crystals, deities, lucky underwear. It can be used in any kind of magic, money magic, spiritual healing, protection, anything.
Love it. It's like a catch-all.
It is. It's
any
nice.
Kind of magic you want to do, you can do it while fucking.
So I was also kind of like, so there are witches, and we talk about like, you know, green witches, kitchen witches, solitary witches, stuff like that.
Sex witches.
And that's what I'm thinking, because it's like, you don't really have a lot of like, I'm the crystal witch and I'm the rune witch. It's just like, that's what someone chooses.
Mm-hmm.
But if we say, oh, I'm a crystal bitch and I'm like, I'm into runes, could you just be about sex magic?
I guess you could.
I'm a sex witch.
You can kind of do whatever you want. It's 2020. There are no rules.
There's really no rules. But who thought this shit up?
Okay, so the concept of sex magic became alive and well during the 19th century because that's when kind of spiritualism started taking off and they were just kooky as fuck back then.
Oh, yeah. I mean, post like Civil War, like the War of 1812, shit was crazy.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
the world wars hadn't happened yet, so...
So not too crazy because we didn't know what damage we could actually inflict on each other. But we just had a lot of crazy ideas. So a lot of these people have kind of been looked over by modern witches with sex magic. And if we wonder why, we're going to tell you about these few people. And then you might be like, oh, okay. So first up, we have Pascal Beverly Randolph, who was an American occultist and wrote about sex magic in The Mysteries of Euless, in which he said, success in any case requires the adjuvancy. Which
what
is,
a word.
I know, a smart word for assistance, you guys. So we can tell he's kind of a douche. Requires the assistance of a superior woman. In all caps, with an exclamation point at the end, he wrote, "This is the law. A harlot or a low woman is useless for all such lofty and holy purposes, and just so is a bad, impure, passion-driven apology for a man." So Pascal doesn't think all people should do sex magic, but only those who are pure in spirit and heart.
Okay.
Yeah. Fortunately, though, he also said don't fuck a virgin or anyone under the age of 18 for sex magic. And for that time period, I think that's a good thing to have stated, you know? That's pretty positive.
That's progressive in certain ways, but also exponentially regressive in other ways.
That we have to say it out loud. But let's just say it out loud. Don't fuck anyone under 18. You can fuck, but like have a relationship with a virgin.
Isn't
you know,
even
it's
real.
Not, whatever. Then we have Ida Craddock. And she is someone we should have like a whole history lesson episode about because she seems dope and crazy.
Oh, that's my favorite.
A great combination, yeah. She's a late 19th century advocate of free speech and women's rights and was part of the American spiritual sexual practice called Dianism. Dianism stems from the goddess Diana, you know, the cool one who hates men, loves the moon, huntress, the Roman name for my own cat's name, and the goddess of chastity. Dianism is about receiving sexual satisfaction from sexual contact, but without ejaculation.
Okay, is that without orgasm entirely or without ejaculation?
That's a good question.
Because ejaculation is generally only for special groups of people that have vaginas and people with penises.
Are you meaning like squirting in terms of vagina?
It's like female ejaculate, right?
I just assumed it meant like orgasm.
Like, what's it called? Climax.
Yeah.
The end part.
The end part. You're not supposed to make it there. You stop short.
Okay.
Ida was an occultist and mystic. She became a student of religious eroticism, which sounds like a fun class. Ida never married because no good bitch marries. We know. But she claimed to have an ongoing marital relationship with an angel named Soph. Ida even said that the sex was so passionate and loud with Soph that the neighbors would complain about it. And apparently after her mother heard that, she tried to have Ida institutionalized very unsuccessfully.
What do you mean unsuccessfully?
I guess she tried to take her there, and I don't know, maybe Ida tried to claw her eyes out or something. I have no fucking clue. Yeah. Or maybe she took her there and they were like, she's fine.
She's just a hoe.
She's just a hoe with Soph.
With Soph.
And then we also have the Ordo Templi Orientis, which is a religious fraternity that is still around today, which scares me. Anything like that really scares me.
It's like the Knights Templar.
Yeah. Back in the day, they would use sexual rituals heavily in their initiation ceremonies. Their most notable member was Aleister Crowley, who viewed sex as the supreme magical power. His words, not mine.
What do we know about like the type of ritual sex that they had?
Well,
we're going to get there.
We're going to get there a little bit.
Oh, I'm nervous.
I think...
Should I be scared?
You should be a little scared, actually. This is like, we're getting to the gag part, you guys, so...
Will you give us a trigger warning beforehand?
Yes, I will. A lot of people aren't down with Crowley because although he wrote several books on erotic magic, he's a little crazy. I mean, he's white man, so obviously he was racist and somewhat sexist, so we know this already. But he also created 2 sex magic concepts, one of which being erotocomatose lucidity is the word.
What are these words?
Erotic comatose lucidity. So basically it involves one seer and several aids. Mm-hmm. The aids will sexually stimulate the seer, but not to coming. They basically edge this person until the seer falls asleep from exhaustion. And so everyone's consenting for this, you know?
Okay.
This is
that was my first question.
This is a whole consensual thing. And so when that person falls asleep from exhaustion, the aides are supposed to sexually stimulate the now sleeping person to the brink of wakefulness. This sounds like a lot of work, which I read you can use sex toys because, like...
Okay, I was like, my hand!
I was like, these
my
aides.
Wrist!
And that's why there are multiple aides so that they can, like, tap out.
It's like CPR where you go, you do 2 rounds and then the next person comes in, you go back and forth.
Yep. And because this person is so exhausted, the seer becomes in a trance-like state and can start lucid dreaming. During the state, the seer is supposed to be connected to a higher power and to see things. I couldn't find anything that said what they've seen, but in theory, they see something and they're supposed to just report it back to the group.
Is it future things?
I don't know. Is it just godly things?
Yeah.
I would assume it'd have to be future things, right?
Some kind of knowledge.
Be worth reporting back about.
Right.
Or like, this is what the afterlife looks like. I don't know, you know?
Or like, this is
kooky.
how you do this. Or like some sort of information about like the structure of the universe.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this just sounds like...
It just sounds like so much work.
In my head. Staying alive. Staying alive. I was pretending to do CPR.
I know, I liked it. Are you ready for the gross one?
So if you want to skip, it's going to be about 3.5 to 4 minutes ahead of here. There is a lot of body talk. There is some fluid talk and a little bit of what I would consider gore. Personally, I would consider it gore. So if that's, not you, especially if, one time in middle school, I had to leave health class because someone said blood vessel.
Ew.
And I had to go to the nurse and lay down. So
I am feeling faint.
If you are, like moi,
a Victorian era woman.
If you are, yes. If you easily get the vapors.
Yeah.
Skip ahead about 4 minutes. And then you'll hear Alicia say, let's talk about the sex.
Yep.
Okay? That's going to be our safe word.
Sex. Banana. Okay. Banana sex. All right. Another concept Crowley made up is the concept of the cake of life. The cake of life is kind of like the Eucharist, like eating the bread of the body of Jesus. Although the cake of life isn't bread. It is a cake, but some of its ingredients include honey, some kind of magic oil, and different body fluids.
Ew.
I'm talking semen. I'm talking vaginal fluids. Mm. Exactly. And menstrual blood. Mm-mm. What a great concoction. I know. I was like... So by eating the cake of light, Crowley says you become filled with God, fed upon God, intoxicated with God.
Is it over yet?
No, I'm going to keep going. So this is actually, I don't know who's eating the cake of light anymore, but the concept of using bodily fluids still exists today.
In Sex Magic.
In Sex Magic.
Okay.
If you would like.
If you want.
If you want. No one is forcing you ever to do anything you don't want to do. If you do want to do it, so you just need to be aware of what substances you're handling and be very safe when handling it. A Vice article on Sex Magic says that feeding and eating bodily fluids carries the same danger as oral sex. And you can transmit diseases. So, get tested.
God, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Because you could literally get
you could probably get mouth herpes.
Yeah. HIV.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And also menstrual blood, that's blood.
That's blood. Well, okay, this is super barfy for me because I really have a hard time talking about blood, but there's blood sausage, there's blood pudding. People eat blood in cooking. And some of it is very much connected to cultural identities. I know a lot of people in Central America and parts of South America.
I just feel like it wouldn't taste good, right?
I'm not a fan.
Right? I'm eating blood?
Well, I'm not a fan of eating anything that's ever been alive or connected to a live creature.
Same.
But it tastes like spoons, right? It's going to have that
spoons!
irony taste. That's what I've always thought blood tastes like.
Well, do you think it tastes better once cooked?
I don't know. Does it change the taste?
I don't know. If you put sugar on semen, it's the balance of salty and sweet, right?
It's like a chocolate-covered pretzel.
Exactly.
Barf.
Is that how that would work?
Maybe.
I don't know. My tummy's feeling upset, though.
I know. I need some water.
Okay.
Where's the fan? Is it over yet?
Just a little other thing. What can you do besides eat it? Apparently, you can, write a sigil on a candle or something and lather it with semen or menstrual blood and then burn it. And it's just supposed to, connect you more
on a candle
to whatever you're manifesting with that candle.
Can I wear the rubber gloves?
Please wear rubber gloves. And then dispose of the rubber gloves.
Throw them away.
Yes, in the garbage. Never to be seen again or used again. Okay, let's stop talking about the gross shit and let's talk about the fun part of sex magic, the sex. So who can do sex magic?
Anybody.
That's it.
Anybody. Who enthusiastically, okay, asterisk.
Asterisk. Okay, I was like, anyone.
Anyone who can enthusiastically and continuously consent.
Yes.
So that's not verbal consent with like a lot of, the feeling, I guess, okay. Or at any time where you feel like your partner or you are pressured, or if in the middle of it, you start to feel like you don't want to keep going.
Stop talking about this man named Benjamin and start talking about me.
So this section I got was from Llewellyn.com.
Love
and
it.
the writer of the article was Sky Alexander, and she looks like this.
I like her.
She looks like, so her haircut is like when I blow dry my hair too much.
Yep.
And it just becomes like a 1950s, like little ram's horns on the end of my hair.
But she has beautiful and like striking blue eyes.
She does. She does. She super loves dick, just saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Alexander states that a question a lot of people have asked is whether or not sex magic is strictly for heteros. And it's not.
Yay.
Hooray! She says that you perform sex magic by blending feminine and masculine energies, and that both those energies exist within all of us. Feminine and masculine energies stands outside of our cultural concepts of gender, but for some reason we've attached them to our genitals.
Okay.
Probably because humans just love to categorize things, like put things in boxes and say this is, for later, and this is
for now.
This I'm trying to think.
This is my trauma.
This is my trauma. You put it in the memory palace in the box, close. That's for
under the bed,
mm-hmm.
never to be seen again.
With all my other jars with my secrets in
Yep.
them. This might be an oversimplification, but the power of masculine and feminine may inform your gender, but it doesn't define it. It's very much separate. You can be a very feminine cis man. You can be a masculine butch as fuck trans woman. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with your gender expression, how you dress. It can be entirely internal.
Love it.
You can have two individuals of any gender perform either role, and you can go back and forth if you like. And if you're thinking, does that mean one of the lesbians is the guy? No, Trent, it doesn't. Get out of the binary. We're talking about magic right now.
I don't know the last time I've met a person named Trent.
I know one Trent, and he's probably never
going to listen to our podcast.
Never, ever.
Never, ever. That's how I feel about the one Trent I know.
Interestingly, because each of us has both masculine and feminine energy, you can perform sex magic as a solo act. You know what I'm talking about?
I like it.
A little bit of a zip.
A da-na-na.
Is that the noise you make?
Da-na-na-na.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Staying alive. Staying alive. Okay. Alexander went on to say that she'd even recommend practicing on your own before trying to perform this kind of magic with a partner.
Because you don't want to fuck it up with a partner when someone's watching.
I have such a hard time even just like staying focused on anything ever during this private dark time. If you're thoroughly practiced, on your own.
Good for you.
But maybe you're like asexual or you don't currently have a partner to move on to partnered sex magic with. She recommended invoking deities.
Okay. Is invoking like being like, Apollo?
Yeah, I don't know if you send Apollo a you up text.
Oh, I like that.
Or like you just like,
It's like, Hermes, I know you bad boy.
If it happens during the astral projection, you just go to the top of the Eiffel Tower and you call up Ra and
I just feel like Hercules all the way, right? That's the right answer.
No, what we want is Artemis. We want Diana.
I do not want to fuck my cat.
No, not that one. You should have seen the look on her face.
I was deeply disturbed.
You cannot make me do this again.
Okay, but I had a question before moving on.
Yeah.
Is there a way for an asexual person to do this if they don't like sex in general or even masturbation?
It really depends on the asexual person. So I'm not an ace person. So
neither am I. That's why I'm full of questions.
I'm going to speak from a place of just what other ace people have told me is that asexuality is on a spectrum. So there are people that are like not interested in having sexual, like they do not experience sexual arousal of other people, but they can experience their own sexual arousal.
They look in the mirror and they're like, ooh, I'm hot as fuck.
Dude, or I don't know, so maybe, or just like the idea, I mean, there are people that are sex repulsed, like the idea of having sex disturbs them. So that might not be something for them, but there are definitely people that are asexual that may not experience sexual arousal for other people, but do engage in sexual acts, either because it's like massage or because they have a partner that they love and trust and that's something that they do for that person. There are people basically, and again, this is a spectrum because not every ace person is going to be the same, but the general idea is that if you are asexual, you do not experience sexual arousal, but that is not necessarily connected to your libido. Those two things are separate.
Okay.
And then you get into like the aromantic, you know, that kind of stuff. Or like
just all the tiers of it.
There's so many tiers.
Yeah.
Because humans love putting things into boxes. And so it's nice to have names for things.
I need to have lots of boxes.
And also, here's another thing. Like, feminine and masculine energy is just a way of like coding or giving a term to that energy. If, say, you are an agender person, completely not at all connected to those ideas, and that is disturbing to you, it is gives you some kind of dysphoria to use those terms, I say call them orange and yellow, or like call them like sunshine and moonshine energies. You know, it's really just because those things are separate from your gender. Yeah. They're separate from your gender. They're separate from your sex. It's really just like this type of energy.
Like yin and yang.
Yin and yang opposites. So really whatever makes you feel comfortable, because you're supposed to have a good time.
Please have a good time.
Please.
Unless you're eating that gross ass cake, then you might not be having a good time. But good on you, because I wouldn't do it.
Brave people.
Crazy.
So you might be thinking, how can I fuck my boyfriend to manifest money so I can stop working my shitty job and go to Bali?
That is what I'm thinking.
Let me tell you.
Please.
So the base format for Sex Magic is you have to decide on a goal.
Okay.
This is beforehand. You can come up with some kind of...
Do not decide on a goal in the moment.
In the moment, because there's too many moving parts.
There's a lot to do.
And then if you got more than one partner, who fucking knows, right?
Yeah.
So decide on a goal. I want you to think of a term, a word, a phrase. I want you to think of imagery. I want you to think of colors, feelings in your body.
Scrooge McDuck.
I want you to be thinking of Scrooge McDuck. I want you to thinking about how tall not only his stacks of gold coins are, but also how tall his screwdriver dick is.
Quack, quack.
Not screwdriver, corkscrew. Quack, quack. You can also like put up visual cues. So say you're having a hard time remembering in the moment or staying within that headspace of manifestation. What I want you to do is either you can say something super literal. Let's say you want money. You're going to put up maybe gold around your bed or wherever it is that you're going to be engaging in sexual intercourse. You could put up images of money. You could put money around, something like that. Or
can you tell what we want? We just want money.
I just really have a lot of flights I need to do this year.
Yeah.
Or you could say, all right, from now on, I'm just looking at my own room. I'm going to be having sex in that bed right there. I have a beautiful plant next to it. That plant is now going to represent my manifestation energy for money.
Okay.
So it can be that simple. And then, as Alicia said before, a lot of sex magic is dependent upon edging. Okay. So edging, again, is the idea that you are trying to come to the precipice of orgasm and then stopping or pulling back in some way, with the idea that you are building up energy over time. And then while you are doing this, you are visualizing. I love the idea of doing the sigils, like moving the sigils over someone's back, visualizing yourself drinking margaritas in Cabo, wherever it is you want to go.
Love that.
Oh, gosh. And then you're going to move into orgasm. And that's when hopefully that energy and all of that manifestation energy that you have been building up through what sounds like a horrible 3-hour experience of just like trying hard to focus and trying to still have fun. And it's like,
does the time count if I'm like a bitch with a schedule? Is 15 minutes enough?
Yo, I get tired. I get sore. I get hungry.
I get sleepy.
I get very sleepy, very tired. So then you're gonna orgasm. The energy is gonna be released, and then I want you to just put all that down. Okay, just put down the thoughts, the worries, all of it.
Light
done.
a cigarette.
Light
Enjoy
a cigarette
your night.
or a jewel, I guess.
Yeah, jewel. We do not condone vaping. Only cigarette smoking on this podcast. It's okay. Smoking's not cool, kids. We know.
Please don't.
We know.
It's not good for you. It doesn't make you
It's
look
not.
cool.
Just get some weed.
Yeah.
Come on. 2020. They're selling it in Chicago now.
Weed?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's anything else that I read.
Yeah, I read a lot that it's linked to tantric sex. So if that's
Mhm.
something like you're interested in getting into, like there's a lot of either YouTube tutorials you can look at, not people actually doing it, of course, or you can even go to a tantric sex kind of person if you like spending money on things like this that can teach you how to do it and be really connected to your body. And it's supposed to be a whole different experience of having sex.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
But a lot of it is just dependent on edging, which sounds very frustrating to me.
It sounds...
Feels very agitated.
It does. It is my understanding that a lot of tantric sex, right, it's like you're supposed to be like connecting your body spiritually to the person that you're engaging with, as if you are the same person. And it seemed like a lot of it was dependent upon like trying to line up your breathing, that you're breathing in sync and breathing in rhythm.
Yeah.
And sometimes if I think too much about breathing, I just like start to feel like I'm suffocating.
You just stop breathing.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you think about walking and then
Yeah.
you're like, I don't know how to be human anymore.
Yeah. Or you suddenly are driving and you think about driving and
Yes.
you're like, I don't know how I got this far. How did I do this?
And then you just like turn the wheel and just like drive off into the Gowanus Canal.
Goodbye.
Because you're going to do it anyway. You might as well do it now.
Exactly. How fucking crazy.
And that also seemed like there were a lot of different positions for tantric sex. And maybe we'll do maybe a mini-sode about it.
Yeah.
But that it had a lot to do with like face-to-face connections. A lot of the ones that I see are like sitting up.
You gotta just look in their eyes, baby, when you're doing it.
Oh, God, I don't want to be perceived.
As vulnerable.
And anyway, put on a blindfold, okay? Don't look at me.
We can use our imaginations. It's fine.
And like that seems like a lot more ab work.
Yeah. Like you need to go to the gym beforehand and like really get your body fit to do it. But in theory, anyone can do it. So why limit yourself?
So just like one more thing also about that guy, Pascal, Beverly Randolph, who was an African-American doctor in, when was he working? 1800s?
Yes.
I just want to say all women
Are beautiful.
true, inside and out, but also that like fucking harlots, sex workers, anybody, low women. What does low women even mean? There are no low women.
Yeah.
So I just want to say that if you want to do this and you find a partner that wants to do this, or you want to do it by yourself in your dorm room, fucking do it.
Do it.
You know? There are no rules except for the law that says
No children.
no children.
No children, please. Please, no child brides.
So, is that it?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
It got sexy. It got gross.
It got very gross. You guys missed out if you skipped,
Yeah.
but I don't recommend going back.
No, it was very gross. It's going to be really hard for you to edit this. Yikes.
So, moving on to
Which is in the news. Hey, baby. All right. So first up in the news, Christian news. Some Christian news is against a new Disney cartoon.
What?
I know. I love drama. So here's the drama. Here's the tea. Remember how you would hear like back in the day that people hated Harry Potter and thought it was the devil's work and that their children couldn't watch it and stuff. So these are those people.
Oh, no.
They're just attached to something new now. There's this new Disney series, animated series coming out that's called The Owl House. And it's about a teenage girl named Luce who enters the Boiling Isles, which is a land controlled by witches and demons that lives under the surface of the earth. Sounds kind of cool. Looks kind of cool. It actually looks fucking adorable. Luce decides to stay in the Boiling Isles to become an apprentice of the witch Ida the Owl Lady.
Oh, I love that.
Also, there's a demon named King, and he's just cute and tiny and not what you'd expect a demon to look or even sound like. And just from the trailer, I'm getting a sense that it's a series about a ragtag group of different people who end up becoming each other's family, which is adorable and sounds very Christian. But I guess they're not part of God's family.
Oh, no.
I know this is truly that crazy sect of Christianity, but you should always hear out the other side and then make your decision. So the ones who are against the Owl House say it's because the spiritual realm opposes God and that demons are real and that they are, in quotes, out to deceive your children and draw them in to be pawns of the enemy of their souls, Satan, end quotes. If you're that sect of Christianity, first, congratulations. Why are you listening to this episode?
Also,
or
got
us
pretty far into this episode
to file a complaint right now. That wild. But second, they say you can overcome this evil by not watching the Owl House and praying. So there is hope. Just pray. But for the rest of us, it just may be our new favorite cartoon.
It looks fucking adorable.
It looks so cute.
Oh my goodness.
And it's just going to be about family and a little girl who wants to be a witch, and that's all of us.
I love chosen family. I love chosen family archetypes.
Yeah. It's just so real. It's like, fuck these other people. You can choose who your family is and who vibes with you. And that's okay. And that's great.
Mm-hmm. And it teaches you to rely on other people.
Yeah.
Which is important.
Exactly. So now we're going from one extreme to another. Woman says people who paint their face green on Halloween are offensive. Okay. Y'all, this is about a witch. Okay, so this article is from March in 2019, but just get ready. A woman on Twitter, whose name I'm just going to omit because it's not worth it anymore. She tweeted, "Can people stop painting their faces green when they dress up as witches?" And she goes on to say, "The green face represents the harsh punishments and torturings of alleged witches in the 1600s. It is just as racist as a white person painting their face black."
No, it's not.
This is why I didn't give the Twitter handle.
No, it's not.
Yeah. And so that's when the whole Twitter thread tanked. And someone ended up replying to her tweet by saying, "The green face comes from The Wizard of Oz because it showed up better in Technicolor. It has zero to do with the history of witches and is not comparable to blackface."
Mm-mm.
No. Right?
Right, yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's, if you want to talk about how which archetypes come from anti-Semitic terms, like wearing a big nose and stuff like that, that is super racist.
I just feel relaxed.
It's really just
relax.
Seems okay. So I'm not here to minimize anyone's feelings.
I am,
but
hit them.
It really seemed to me like a situation where someone wanted to feel special and wanted to victimize themselves.
Yeah,
and especially people that are compare themselves to people that are so deeply oppressed in this country that...
And of course it was a white woman who tweeted that,
It's is this the hill you want to die on? Is this what it's going to be?
Yeah. It's there are a lot more issues to worry about than, wow, you painted your face green to be a witch. I'm so offended because I'm an actual witch.
It's also...
dumb.
Calm down.
It's just plain silly,
and also,
you guys.
If you posted this in March, Halloween was months ago, Sharon.
Yeah. Just still on that wave. On that wave.
I am now angry. Oh no. How do you feel?
It was just a big eye roll for me. I was like, okay, cool. Okay, but the user eventually deleted the post because at that point, that was the only responsible thing to do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Twitter user. Let's be done with it.
Okay, we're moving on.
All right.
The sandwich.
From one crazy tweet to the next, here's another story from the Twitter sphere. Toronto witch threatens a death ritual against Trump and ends up not doing it.
Okay.
So you may be asking yourself why this is newsworthy. And the answer is that it's a bit batshit, honestly. This is the original tweet by a woman named Alicia. It said, on Saturday, 11th January, 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will broadcast a death ritual against President Trump, which is far and near. Please join me and perform the ritual along with me as I lead through it. And this was all over the whole Iran crisis that happened in early January, since this is coming out in February. And that's what led her to post it. And so I'm not really about doing magic for bad things. Like a death ritual seems a little extreme to me.
I'm really not about it at all.
Yeah. And when people tweeted at Alicia asking about the threefold karma law, you know, you've kind of heard of that. Like if you invoke damage on someone, you'll feel it threefold. Mm-hmm. She told them that all of you worried about the threefold law can put the karma of your spell on me.
No.
Yeah. She then gave her full name and said for the spellcaster to say, the karma of this ritual is on Alicia, her last name. Mm-hmm. 3 times. Say that 3 times before doing the ritual. So, I mean, ballsy for that, yo.
What the fuck?
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
She also included the ingredients list for the ritual, which includes some candles, red paper with a pentagram, a rotting apple, a Trump poppet, which I think means puppet, but I don't know. It's Canadian.
Poppet.
Or it's just a spelling error. I don't really know.
Poppet.
Hello, poppet. That's a word I'm bringing back too for 2020. Poppet. Yep, get ready, guys. But the last ingredient she listed was rotten flesh, which I don't know where you buy that.
Flesh? So flesh is in just like rotting meat? Or
yeah, I think.
With skin on it?
Well, it didn't say. It just said rotten flesh.
What is flesh?
Flesh is any
Google
skin,
it.
right?
Flesh.
Skin meat.
I always imagined it was skin.
I don't know.
Google says flesh, the noun, is the soft substance consisting of muscle and fat that is found between the skin and bones of an animal or a human.
Oh, so it's nothing to do with the skin.
Which, Google, guess what? Humans are animals.
So does that mean you just buy like a burger and let it go bad? I don't know. Is that rotting flesh?
Get a drumstick?
From like a chicken?
Yeah.
And let it go bad?
And let it go bad?
Ew.
Find some like close to expiring, you know, like those sell-by, Best Buy dates.
And then just leave it for a week?
So, okay, so there's like these pictures of quote-unquote flesh on Google.
Are they
and the
super gross?
Image is a bunch of oranges.
The flesh of an orange.
Yes. But either way, this is gross. I'm going to change.
Yeah. Get out of there. Alicia decided against doing the death ritual after Trump addressed the nation and said he actually didn't want the U.S. to go to war with Iran. And that concludes Which is in the News for this week.
Nice.
Baby.
A lot of Twitter.
Wah, 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 wah.
Are you feeling fine, baby?
I believe in a thing called love, just with the heart of the heart. That's going to be really loud to listen to.
So Alicia found this spell.
Whoop, whoop.
While I went to go buy batteries for the recorder. Which is what your great Patreon money is going towards. Thank you.
Thank you. Batteries are good, though.
So this is a spell for good luck, and it's a little charm.
Yay.
So these are things you're going to need. Rose quartz. Hopefully you have one by now. It's been at least a year since the crystals episode.
Source one.
Yeah.
Just go steal one. It's one rock.
It's a rock.
Come on, guys.
Rose quartz. You're going to need a silver dish.
I don't know if I have one.
eBay?
Yeah.
And a rose petal.
You can just buy a rose.
Yeah, just get a rose. Just pull the petals off.
Yeah. Pluck it.
She loves me. She loves me not. So you're going to place the quartz on the silver tray and leave it in the light of a new moon. So after this episode comes out, the next new moon is going to be February 23rd, 2020. And the new moon is going to be in Pisces.
Okay, so you got a lot of time to like get this going. There's basically another episode out by then.
You're going to be able to order both the silver dish and the rose quartz on Amazon and have them come in time to do this.
I love it.
You're going to kiss it.
Mwah!
And then place the rose petals on top of it, underneath it, all around it. Just get them in there.
Like a little rose petal fort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let it sit there for 5 days. So which makes sense to me because over 5 days, the roses are going to wilt and fall and stuff like that. So that's
and the
why
mood's going to change too. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going to be waxing. So that energy is going to be growing.
Ooh, someone thought this through.
So after the 5 days, take the quartz and either wear it if you like have it on a ring or on a necklace or on a brooch or on your lip ring.
In your mouth.
In your mouth. And then just keep it with you for good luck.
Yeah.
And that's how you do.
That's a good luck love charm.
Dude, it's so easy.
It's
no
so
jars,
easy. Oh
no
my God.
incantations. Alicia's got us.
Like, it's tiny. You can almost forget about it.
You could.
I love that. And thank you to Everything Under the Moon for today's spell.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, fuck. Are we done?
And that's been Witch Yes. Yeah,
Thank
fuck.
God. Okay. This was such a, I'm sorry, Mom. I told you not to listen at the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to text you and tell you not to listen. I'm sorry to my friends and family who had to listen to me say ejaculation.
It's like health class. It's fine, right?
It's kind of like, I don't know about you, but there are certain people that talk about sex magic and talk about sex a lot, where I'm like, you are the last person that I need you to be talking about sex magic. You have way too many white people dreads, for one. For two,
A lot of YouTube videos is what you're talking about, right? Yeah.
like, ooh.
Yeah.
Or it's kind of like
Or a lot of like crazy eyes, too.
crazy eyes. Yes.
It's just like, are you okay? Are you this sexed up that it's like messed with your vision? What's happening?
And there's like a certain level of like, not coolness. Like there are certain like sex positive podcasts I can listen to and some that I really can't.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I don't want to listen to you about your labia. You sound like you have a bunch of marbles in your mouth. You know who I'm fucking talking about. It grosses me
"Please
out.
Stop.
Yeah.
It's the last thing I want.
So I guess big thanks to Kevin MacLeod. I don't know, man.
Well, before we get into that, y'all know we got this Patreon. So I just want to make sure we mention it. Everyone who's donated, amazing. Thank you so much.
Crazy.
Very cool. We expected it to just be Terra's mom. And once again, y'all surprised us.
So you can find that at patreon.com/witchyes.
Yes.
And there's a link in our Instagram bio if that's too difficult for you to put in an actual http://.
And in our Instagram, of course, is @witchyes.
Yes.
And we would like to thank Marcel Pérez, our producer, Mallory Porter, our creative director, and of course, Kevin MacLeod, which I guess he just gets 2 thanks this week.
You're welcome, Kevin.
You're great, Kevin.
Thanks for being here
Fucking
from the beginning.
Keep it up.
If you want to find me, I'm on Instagram at herlovelyface or _Little Moss. The Little Moss one is for my selfies.
It's cute. And if you want to find me, Alicia, it's at Alicia, Herder. Pretty fucking simple.
Oh,
Alicia like Alicia Keys. Like, let's not get a little wild with this spelling.
There's no Y's in there.
No, you're not going to find me.
If you haven't rated us on iTunes, please, dear God, please give us some stars.
Unless you hated this episode, then wait a week.
Yeah.
Or wait 2 weeks.
Yeah. Chill out.
It gets better, I promise.
Give us 5 stars. It doesn't matter what you say. You can say, I've been cursed by a dark witch to write this 5-star review. You can say,
Which they have. People have said that.
you could say, shout out to Alicia Herder for being in Sundance. You can say, Terra, I'm really glad that I heard you say ejaculate so many times. Love, Tammy.
Love Tammy.
That's how people are going to find us. And without a steady stream of reviews, like I'm talking like a reoccurring set of reviews.
Yeah.
We fall back in the charts and people can't find us. Most of how people have found us is by you guys telling people about us, which is boggles my mind that the first 3 Patreon users we had were all friends that were like, let's all do this together.
This is so cute.
I was just like about to be in tears. We're on, again, Instagram as witchess. If you're listening to us on your device, screen grab it, and send it to us. And we'll feature you on our Instagram stories, and you'll make friends.
Friends.
It's like free advertising for your Instagram.
I love that.
And we love that you love us.
Yeah.
You can email us at witchyespodcast@gmail.com. And we love you.
We love you.
Also, If you're a patron, you get extra episodes.
Hey.
And so we have a series called Vaults of the Obscure. It comes out once a month at the $5 level. And then once we get to our goal, we're going to do 2 episodes a month, which is basically a weekly episode. Which is basically a weekly podcast.
Yeah. That's so crazy.
Can you believe this?
I can't either.
What are we going to do after that? We're working on merch.
Oh my God.
We're working on another mini-series.
Oh my God.
But Alicia's, thank God she's back from Sundance today, or else I would be dead. I guess this has been
Which Yes.
Okay, well, goodbye.
All right. Bye, guys. Have a good life.
And stop saying the Y word.
Have a great Valentine's Day.
Welcome to Witch Yes, a podcast for casual conjurings, witches in training, and lotions No! I'm cursed! Okay, one more time. And lotions, potions, oceans of the oceans.